episode 53. It's been a minute. I think Todd was flying solo last week. I don't think we recorded at all the week before, right?
Yeah, we didn't. No.
So nobody has seen me for a couple of weeks, and that's because I was bunkered down. I was in pre-production for the short film, and then we're recording this on a Thursday. I was filming it from Friday to Monday, and it was like four back-to-back 16-hour days. They were really really long, grueling days. So yeah, I couldn't do any recording. But really quick before we forget, I know we have a banner here that tells us what time we're live every week, but Todd says he has to change that starting next week. So we need Todd to pick a new day. So and I'll edit that.
Okay. Yeah. So we have my kid has football practice on Thursday nights now. So I don't know exactly what day it is. We'll have to talk about that, but maybe we can.
You don't do you need time to think about it or what? Because
Well,
it doesn't matter to me.
what are you open for? I mean, like, what day is okay for you?
I mean, I'm open for. I mean, if you can't do Thursday, Wednesday would be cool. I don't mind
Okay.
going back to Tuesday, but Wednesday might be cool too. Might be a nice hump day thing. I
What?
like preferably this kind of stuff is neat on Mondays and Wednesdays when people are like working, something to like enjoy during the week. Um,
Let's do
I kind of like
Wednesdays.
the idea of hump day. Okay, so we'll do Wednesdays. I'm gonna update that right now. Streamline Wednesdays. Make sure my spelling is on points. All right, so let's add that and so let it be written, so let it be done. We're gonna do Wednesdays for now until it changes again. What's up, Sean Boyle? Yeah, Silhouette. You just went to watch Blue Beetle. That's good. It's not really my thing, but glad you liked it. I don't really care to see Barbie either.
No,
There's all this.
I can
I
give
don't
two
even have to see
shits.
Oppenheimer, man. I mean, maybe I'll watch. I don't know if I want to go to an IMAX and watch like a 3 hour movie about like talking about the atomic bomb. It's probably good, but like I'll wait. That's one I'll wait for. What's up, Allie? I had a wet nightmare about you, Aaron. What is that? Is that
Ooh.
like when Freddy? Is that when Freddy killed Glenn in the 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 waterbed? Is that like that kind of wet nightmare? No, but yeah. Anyway, I haven't been around in a couple of weeks, so I just kind of want to shoot the breeze a little bit today. We'll kind of talk about what's new and kind of catch up because I haven't talked to anybody in over a week. Like I haven't talked to Todd. I kind of forgot Todd existed. I literally referred to Todd as my producer when I was telling Eva, like, "Hey, I gotta do this with Oscar," because I've been just living with fucking production guys for for like a couple weeks straight, just nonstop. So my brain's not all there, but yeah, so we'll talk about what's new. We'll talk about what we've been up to. Maybe if Todd's got anything he's watched or whatever, and then I'll tell you guys all about my 4 day experience doing this film. So there's definitely a lot to chat about. Silhouette, thanks so much for the $2. I'm waiting for the adult parody, Oppenwider. Yeah, that's good. That would be a good one, man. So what's going on, Todd? What's been new? What have you been doing the last 2 weeks?
Man, so pretty much work, man. This past 2 weeks been crazy. Bunch of kids stuff I got to deal with. Gym, birthday parties. Nothing really fun, man. I rewatched a movie that I'll talk about, but I don't. haven't done a whole lot of fun things this past 2 weeks. So not as crazy as your last week has been, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm still exhausted. No, it's good to get back into this routine. I missed streaming. I missed kind of a schedule. So yeah, I mean, it is really kind of cool to check in once a week and just kind of talk about movies and just shoot the breeze and stuff. It really did help, and I realize how much it helps throughout the week because my head has just been spinning for like I said a couple of weeks, and I had to keep my head in the game. I wasn't even on. Did you even see me in the chats? I wasn't even in like our
No,
DMs
not
or
really.
anything. I
Mm-mm.
was like a ghost,
Yeah.
because I just was nonstop, man, fixing mistake. Like, so let me just kind of. I'll wait. I want to get into it because I do want to talk about the experience of that because it's kind of full circle. I remember, I know we've talked about the Nate thing, the Lush thing, and and when we were trying to make his movie back in the day, and it's funny to see, like, I don't know, I lived it. I don't want to say I lived what he lived through because Nate just kind of went into the woods with a fucking VCR recorder, I'm pretty sure, and just kind of shook it around. You know,
Well, it was a found footage film, though.
you feel like a movie star. You're a movie star. Yeah, you guys should watch it. I'll tell you about the differences when we get to it. Not to
Maybe we
rag
can
on
make
it,
that a
but
Patreon or something. Maybe we can do something with a Patreon.
what, make money off his movie? Put something one more time for the camera on
No,
our
we could
Patreon.
review it or do a commentary on
I
it.
would love it. I would love it. No,
I,
no,
I
a
I
hundred
wouldn't. I'd
percent.
only do Patreon. I wouldn't do it for
Yeah, I wouldn't want to do it in public because I'm not trying to like slander people,
No.
because it's not good. But that's a fantastic idea. I feel like it's come up before. Is it even anywhere to find online still?
I don't know. I'd have to look, honestly.
We'd have to find it. But how do you guys like the sound of that? We've talked about this infamous short film that the Lush from way back in the day made that kind of caused the falling out that that we had a hand in, and then it kind of imploded, and like I said, it caused the falling out. There's a lot of stuff involving money and bullshit, and but anyway, that would be fun. I would do it for a Patreon only. So let us know, and we'll do a commentary of that. It would actually be a trip to go back and watch that after like this many years. I remember it like it's yesterday because Todd and I only watched it the one time at the convention the following year, and I felt like Robert De Niro, right, Taxi Driver. I was kind of embarrassed, like what the hell is this, but it is what it is. But it seemed like everybody in the room at this small horror convention hotel was eating it up, and I just didn't get it. I'm like, is there something in the water? Like, are we watching the same thing? And I was trying to separate my personal issues like from it. Like, I'm not trying to like taint it with what happened with us with it. I was trying to look at it as a real thing, and I'm like, I just summed it up to Nate's extremely likable, and he just befriended a lot of people, and
Yeah.
it becomes that thing like, oh, so great, and then also I do think sometimes horror fans have a low type of standard sometimes for some types of movies.
Oh, I
Like,
do.
there's
I
a lot of
mean, I understand that.
but there's a lot of people that really like just real low rent, shaky VHS camera in the woods type stuff. That's and there's a charm to it, I guess. But you think you're a movie star? I always had a problem with that line because T Bird is raping a poor girl, saying, "You think you're a movie star?" But why would she think she's a movie star when he's the one raping her? You know what I mean? Like, you would think the line would be like, "I'm gonna make you a movie star," or "I think I'm a movie star. I think I'm John Holmes. Look at me." Like, clearly, it's not like
Yeah.
she came
Why
there
would
to
it be? Yeah,
audition
why
in
would
the
it be
shack.
Thinker movies? That doesn't make sense.
Maybe it was feel like a movie star. That would make more sense. I don't know.
Mm.
Regardless, dude, I can't wait to watch it. We should, well, we should correct our memories by watching it sometime.
Mm.
But yeah, Aaron, what's wrong? Gertshop, what's up, Gertshop? What's up, SA? Nothing's wrong, man. I feel real good. Do I look tired? I'm probably really tired. Really, 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 really tired. It was international cruddy and wait, it was intentionally cruddy or unintentionally. We're talking about one more time for the camera. Um, I think by nature it was shitty because nobody was experienced, and but I also think someone like Lush embraced those types of movies too, and he was okay with it just being really guerrilla and really because because when I compare the two, I don't know what happened because when we were trying to produce that thing, it felt like a little bit more effort was going into it. Like we had had a casting call, we had people on board. Like, I'll throw him under the bus right now. Ryan Lacey, who stole my money. Uh,
Oh yeah, I remember
yeah,
that. Okay.
yeah, he was Spider in the Fly. We had a makeup local to the Midwest area where we're talking about, and we had um what Daniel Ipsky. What was the guy that did the horror stuff, the horror shorts?
Yeah, that's
Dead
him.
right. Dead. What
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can't I can't think of what it's called. But we had stuff going for us, and the whole thing came down to w- we were supporting Nate 100%, dude. I at a time liked Nate, and I know Nate was talking about, oh yeah, I'm kicking around this story. I'd like to be able to do it. And I know he liked movies, and I was like, let's make it. I'm the one that said that. It's like, let's make it. Like, let me see it. Let's do it. Why it'd be fun. And then I we didn't we read his shorts, and I think the only thing we really did was, I don't remember if we like made any suggestions. I know we made some suggestions.
I came up with
Um
the title of it.
you picked out the title out of the script, and I'm like, that's it. That's
Mhm.
that's totally the title. And I can't remember at this point, but the version he had was really kind of it needed a little bit of work. And I think I made certain suggestions. I don't remember what they were at this point. But regardless, it went off, and we started getting it together. Todd and I remember we were going on foot, handing out flyers, which is funny because this is still the internet era. But we were going on foot. We discovered a couple of the actors. I think we were responsible for all of the actors showing up. I think that was all
Yeah.
us. I don't know how much Nate really did. Um, Regardless, we were doing all that stuff and getting it organized, and it was really cool doing that casting and being a part of that. But what ended up happening is our makeup guy, this guy Ryan Lacey, um, we'd gotten him on board, and I remember we went to dinner or whatever to talk to him, and it was this thing where Nate, his problem was he was just too friendly with everybody, and there, you can be friendly with people, but at a point, it's like you got to get down to business. And he wasn't funding a dime of this. It was us doing the work. I had gotten money from like my mom, dude, my mom, and my brother chipped in, and my money, and all whatever. And I said, hey, okay, well, if Ryan's going to come on board, we got to get him to sign this thing. I drew up a legal doc and everything else, and he didn't want me to do it. And he's like, oh, well, let me do it. Let me do it. Let me be the one. Like, oh, we're so tight. Great. And I was like, okay, whatever. I trust you. Ryan Lacey runs off with our money. I don't think he really intentionally ran off with our money, because he had, like, I don't think that was the plan. He had some legal issues, and he had to
Yeah.
skip town, and he skipped town with my money. Regardless, the result was the same. He still fucking skipped town. Um, and I was like, hey, not that it would have helped, right? Because it's like, you can't. Nobody is gonna take anyone to small claims court over a couple of grand or whatever. I think, it's not really worth anybody's time, and it turns into a big mess. But it's still symbolic, and it kind of helps people from not treating you like shit. And so I asked Nate, I'm like, hey man, where's you got him to sign the shit, right? And of course he didn't. And even then, I forgave him. I was like, well, we have no choice, but here's what I suggest. We lost our makeup guy. We lost our money. If you want to do this right, or at least as good as we can at the time, let's put a cork in it, because Daniel Ipsky or whatever, he was in between like his seasons of shooting his thing, and that's why he was going to help us, and it was great. But we were going to miss our window because this happened, and I said, well, let's just wait. Let's wait till he's free again, because we spoke with him, and we'd have to wait till like the next season, a few months. I don't remember what it was. And I said that, and that way we can kind of recoup, and maybe if we're lucky, we can keep some of the same people on board, and we'll just do it again. And I remember Lush. You were probably there. I don't remember, but he was just like, "But I've been waiting for this my whole life."
Yeah, we got to
Like
get this
that
done
bullshit.
now, that sort of thing.
Look, and I understand it. Like, he was close to it for all of a fucking couple of months or whatever, but um anyway, that's just where it was. I'm like, I disagreed. I'm like, look, man, I think it's totally worth it to just wait a few months to kind of get back where we were at, and regroup. And in fact, I feel like everybody else had all the reason to be upset, and we weren't. And so at that point, we severed. It's like, okay, whatever. Well, you do your thing. You want to do it the way you want to do it. So instead of regrouping, he decided to just kind of roll with it, which I don't dog that. Like, I get it. Sometimes you just got to roll with it. But I don't really think we were up against the Wolves. It's not like you're in production and shit goes wrong and you just got to roll with it. Like I don't think it was that big of a setback. But
No.
anyway, so he rolled with it, and without a real makeup person, and without any help or assistance from Ryan, because if not Ryan, Daniel. I think from what I was probably understanding, Nate was going to direct, so Daniel was probably going to be his AD, which is great because your AD, if you've never directed before, your AD is going to fucking be your savior, right? If you got a good assistant director, you're golden. Your AD is going to keep the schedule moving. He's going to keep everything wrapped up. He's going to keep people in check. He's going to set everybody up. I mean, really, if you got a great AD and if you got a good cinematographer, it's like the director should just be allowed to focus on the scene and work with your talent and just convey with your DP what you want, and it should be pretty simple. And so he didn't have any of that, and so it just turned into him running around the woods with a shitty camera. And like I said, it was found footage, so he kind of got away with that. But he kind of kept. I don't. I don't know if he ended up keeping all the actors. I think he might have lost some.
No, he added a few, I
'Cause-
believe.
Well, he didn't have like there was the blonde woman who was cast. I don't think she was in it. The thing is I think he ended up having to wait anyway. Like he had to like delay it a bit. Um,
Lost your audio for a second.
it was pure Nate.
You're
So
back.
it's hard to fault it. I'm back. I lost my audio.
Yeah, you're good.
I mean, we'll just have to roll with it. But what we got was pure, unfiltered lush. So, which is fine. I mean, that's at the end of the day, it's like, well, this is what he wanted to make. This is probably him. So, and even then, that's not where the relationship severed. I don't think. It was just a whole bunch of shit. I think it was just kind of the way he was being, and I don't even know. But regardless, I did this thing, and it was way different because I worked on it for 9 months straight, and it was a real big headache. And I was working with professionals, and I did it the right way, and I really put a lot into it, and it was the hardest damn thing I've ever done in my life. I'm not even gonna lie, dude. It wasn't so much the shoot. The shoot was difficult because we were working 4 16-hour days, which is unreal. And we're not union. So if this was like SAG and shit, you can't do that. And if you do it, you got to pay overtime. I didn't have that. I had everybody I remember in December, I decided to make this short. Um, and the first couple of people I met with and literally had lunch with and stuff literally doubted and even laughed. Like, there's no way you're gonna make this for the money you have. Like, you're not gonna do it.
Hmm.
And and I had people trying to change the story. People I met with, they were they would just see it as like, oh, what you have here is a series. This could be good. Make a concept for a pitch for a series, a Netflix series. Like they're doing all this shit. Like, and that's where the mindset is now. Everybody wants to have a series, and no, I fucking hate it. I hate all that shit. I don't want anything to do with that. And in my mind, it looks like streaming's on fire, and hopefully we get away from that. But everybody's trying to jump on the stream. Why would anybody want to? The only people that want to jump on the streaming bandwagon and make a series are people that don't have any success. It's like once they found it, they'd realize how fucked they get. Why
Speaking
would
of
you want to
streaming,
sell your soul and work that hard?
real quick, speaking of streaming, so my wife got all pissed off because now Netflix has
Disney's racist.
one stream per person. So we can only watch on one television. And then it actually tracks that. It won't let you watch on multiple televisions if you don't have like the deluxe plan or whatever, like
You
the
don't have the
$20 plan.
You don't have the 4K tier.
No, no, because I don't watch
Yeah.
Netflix in general. So I have the $10 one or whatever. But yeah, it's strict now. Like there's no way you can watch
Oh,
more than
is
one.
$10 the SD, or they get rid of that? They got rid of the SD, I think.
Yeah,
It's like okay.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
basic.
grandfathered in. I
And
know that.
so you can't be grandfathered in. They raise the prices on everybody. What are you talking about?
They got rid of the $10
They
tier
send you emails.
for the new. If you just now subscribe, they get rid of the $10 tier. But if you've had it for years, they're gonna honor it. So you just got to hold on to it. If you,
But they're gonna raise the price on you though, right?
I think they're raising the price on new customers.
No, what? No. I've had they constantly raise the price on me, and I've had Netflix forever.
Okay, well I have the $10
They
tier,
constantly
so
raise the price. But why would they grandfather you in, but not me, who paid for the highest tier? That makes no fucking sense. Like, well, let's grandfather in the people that are paying the less. That doesn't make sense.
no.
Netflix
So
is trying to get money
if
out. You
you've
sure?
had Netflix for the past, you can downgrade your whatever to the $10 tier, but you can't do that anymore. You know what I'm saying?
They'll let you downgrade. Okay,
Yeah.
but surely the $10 tier is subject for price increases because the basic tier was used to be cheaper than $10.
I think so. Yeah,
So it's probably
maybe.
still subject. It's going to be subject to price increases. So Netflix is like what it is, and then Disney announced that they're raising their prices again in the fall for like the third time in a year.
Oh,
Like when Disney Plus came out, a couple years ago, it came out swinging at like $5.99, and
yeah.
it's now going up to 20. And that's just proof in the pudding that it's on fire. They're losing so much money, and they've been losing subscribers every quarter like crazy. Everybody's jumping ship, and rightfully so. But I have to think that they are prepared for this, and they're probably at the point where it's like, well, let's just raise the price up and have less people and have people jump off, and let's still find a margin that works. And because you're gonna shove some people in a corner that like some people have kids that just worship that. It's like, dang, it's Disney Plus. We
Yeah.
have to watch Disney Plus, and I think they're banking on those people. They don't care about guys like me who are just had it to because it was just so cheap. I just had it to have it for a while. And
Well,
but really, it's like
Shudder raised their prices
good.
too. I think either $5.99 or
Everybody's got
$6.99,
to
which isn't terrible because
everybody's
I
got to raise
think
their prices.
Shudder's still pretty solid. I think even for $6.99, I think it's worth it.
But I also find myself not watching Shutter that much. I pretty much watch it for Joe Bob, and then I'm done. I need to be better about like canceling it and rejoining when I want to.
That's what I always
You
do.
know?
That, yeah.
But yeah, Disney's losing money bigly, and I mean, dude, why would you want to pay? Why would you want to pay $20 for a service where it's like Netflix for me, for example? That's $20. I think I get I got a discount from T-Mobile, and I got to look into my discount because I'm back on Verizon. But um, it's basically a Seinfeld box. It's like why do I have Netflix? It's like you just watch Seinfeld on it. It's like I'm not really utilizing this. And Netflix came out with 700 movies last year.
Hmm.
So they're just fluffing up their fucking filler backlog to fill out their service, but nobody's actually watching any of this stuff, right? They don't release their numbers. They don't release on like how many people are watching what. But I think it's pretty much been predicted that a lot of the shit's probably just getting a couple of thousand viewers. They just flush money down the toilet, and they just bank on people keeping it because they shove inferior content in everybody's face, and people just accept it. Like I think people are just the casual people are just like, oh, it's on Netflix. That's what I have. Like, no, you can have better. You can demand better, but it's just the way.
I Not to
You
piss
laugh
you
at
off, but I think your video is not matching up to your talking. Yeah, something's messed up with your video now too, but it's all right. I mean, I can still hear you fine.
It wouldn't be the video. It's all this.
Oh, it's all the audio
It's the
interface.
sync. It's
Okay,
something. It's all the audio interface. I don't know what's going on.
I was just letting you
Am I
know.
out of sync to you guys too?
Maybe it's just me. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I doubt it. It's probably not because it's been happening. I was talking to those guys, and they're like, "Well, is it just, it's just maybe it's just the streamers." Sometimes when you're streaming, I'm like, no, because literally I had the second gen, and I never had these problems. I changed the third gen of the same model, and it's every problem under the sun, and it's happening on StreamYard. I've had meetings on Google Meet. and I've had Zoom. I've done it all, and it's doing it.
Oh,
So
really?
it's something here. Yeah, it's not this. It's not it's not my mic. It's not. I've changed out my XLR cables. I've changed out all the cables. I don't even necessarily think it's the unit. I didn't think it was the unit. I thought it was more of a software or a driver thing. But he updated it today, and it's still fucking up. And he cleared out shit. So I don't know what it is. It's really frustrating. Yeah, I seem fine now, but I'm not going to be in 10 minutes, and that's the point. It's like that's not. You shouldn't have that kind of consistency. Like it's very reliable in being shitty every 5 to 10 minutes. Because you know how many times I was in like an important meeting and I'm talking with these guys of the film, and then when we did our read through, when I was talking to the actors and we were doing stuff, and then my shit went mute. It was very frustrating.
Oh, I
Like
bet.
I think we
Yeah.
lost you. Like God dang
Oh,
it.
this is so
Very
unprofessional.
frustrating.
Ugh.
Yeah, look at this. Silhouette, thank you so much for the $5. Tried the Seven Seas, got infracted by cable. It was a movie unavailable to stream or get for less than $100 too. But no, what I did was stealing. What? What is the Seven Seas? Oh, so you pirated, got it, and then the
Hmm.
cable called you out on it.
Really?
Um, yeah, that happens, man.
Hmm.
They'll audit and they'll get you for that, and they'll give you a warning. But you can get in trouble for that stuff. You've never known anybody who got that letter in the mail?
No. Uh.
Oh, it happens. Man, I've known people that got it. But I got a letter one time.
Hmm.
I got a letter in the mail one time, and it was somebody stealing my cable. It was
Oh,
somebody
really?
like I did it because they'll even show. Yeah, they'll have like data and they'll know. I'm like, that's not me, man. I'm like, so, but anyway, yeah, it's just people need to demand better, demand more for their money. Like nobody needs to pay Disney that much money for that service. Even if you have kids, I would figure out something else for them to watch. I would just have to try because you got to hurt their pocketbooks, man. I want to see them fall. I really do.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, I want to see it just come tumbling down, but um, I know paying $20 for a service where it started out with promise, like they were delivering upon this thing, and when they had that like original movie with Willem Dafoe, Togo, which was awesome. I'm like, oh, is this what it's gonna be? They launched it with that original movie. I'm like, is this where '90s live action Disney movies are gonna live now, like on this platform? And they're gonna, and then they never did more. They just never did more, and they started
No.
like living off all their bullshit. They were making like shitty Marvel shows. Like, what is this? Marvel, tons and tons and tons of bad Marvel shows. They were like Mighty Ducks TV shows that cancel after a season or two, and and then they purge. By the way, all this stuff becomes tax write-offs for them, and if they want to write it off, they have to purge it from existence. They can't show it or make money from it anymore, and they're constantly removing content because I don't know if they just don't want to pay for server space or how it works, but they're constantly removing content, or if it's all tax write-off bullshit. But if you have Disney Plus, look, I should be able to go on Disney Plus and type in Angels in the Outfield and find Angels in the Outfield. The fact that
Yeah.
I can't, that's no bueno. That's no good. But just like Netflix to me is a Seinfeld box. It's like I'm paying $20 a month or whatever it is to occasionally watch Seinfeld every now and again. That
They
they're
th-
do
they had a time when they were on top with original content, and now it's like
but then
there's been nothing.
everybody broke off.
Yeah.
Nope. And then Disney for me has just become a Simpsons box.
Hmm.
And I don't watch it all the time, but every now and again it's like, oh, I just want to lay in bed and watch Seinfeld. Okay, well every now and like maybe once every 6 months, 8 months, a year, I want to watch Simpsons, and it's just like the first 8 seasons of Simpsons, and I can't pay $20 a month just to have Simpsons on demand whenever I want to watch it. At
Yeah.
that rate, I'll buy them digitally or something. Makes no fucking sense. Um, it's not a Marvel box for me, man, because fuck all that bullshit. Even though I uh I have watched the Spider-Man animated series and the X-Men animated series on it before. But it's just they're really just pulling one over on everybody. I mean, just you're not getting anything for what you're paying. And what else? and everything's all partitioned out, so it makes it hard. It's like, yeah, I want to watch Married with Children. Well, that's like on what is that on Parent Peacock or something like that? It's just like I don't know. There's little things here and there I like to watch, but they're all over the place. And if you really break it down, if I'm somebody that likes like 5 or 6 shows, I'm paying fucking like $100 a month to just have like a couple of shows on demand. It's highway robbery, man. You know.
Speaking, kind of
So
going back real quick, I just want to throw it out there. I didn't get to say it. I did post a link to the Tubi for Lush's movie. So if anybody wants to watch it,
it is.
yeah, it's on Tubi.
Why don't we spend the episode doing a commentary for it right now?
No, I'm not gonna do that.
Why?
No, I'm not gonna.
Oh,
No,
'cause you don't want it to be live. You
yeah,
want it to be a
I'm be
Patreon.
behind a
Okay,
paywall. I'm
okay.
not gonna. Yeah.
You'll talk shit behind a paywall. That's the American way.
No, I'm a good person. I'm not gonna call
Yeah,
people out. That's not really my thing. So
unless it's behind a paywall. No, it'd be fun. It'd be fun. I'll watch it honestly.
I haven't talked to the
Look,
guy in a long time, but like at this point, it's like
yeah, we'll do
there's
it
no
behind.
point in shitting on people.
We'll
You
do it
know?
on a paywall. Then why did you suggest even watching it? You expect to like it? What was the point of even suggesting it?
Well, we can kind of go through like the talk about the actors, and we can kind of go through the whole process of that
But
stuff.
Todd, you know how bad they were. So what is the point of suggesting doing it when you know it was terrible? You expect to like love it all of a sudden? You put the carriage in front of the horse, my friend. You knew. I get it. Your mouth was writing checks your ass can't cash. I get it. It's fine. The hat is getting to you, Fred. No,
That's
I
right.
say we do it, and I won't shit on it. I won't shit on anybody. I'll watch it honestly. It's terrible, and I will legit speak my mind. I'll try and be fair about it, but I would love to go back and watch it. I would love to watch. You feel like a movie star? I want to see it. You feel like a movie star? Is all of his other stuff on there too? Because I've never watched the other stuff. I would
I don't
legit
know.
watch it.
I haven't seen the other
Just
stuff.
I would watch it just to see what's up. But Silhouette, that's so funny. Give Riverman some time, Aaron. It's been 10 years. It's some time. It's been like 11 years. What are you talking about? God, he's had tons of time. Like he'll come around.
No,
Anyway,
and I don't plan on being friends with him again or like getting back in his graces. But I just
no.
I don't know. I don't want to be out
I
there
get what
talking shit, to people. I'm not like
I
that.
get
So
what you're I,
yeah,
I get what you're saying,
yeah.
and I'm not either. But let me just back up a second. You said, "Hey, let's do a commentary for one more time with the camera and laughing." So you didn't intend for that to be an honest commentary because you know it's shit, and you've said so. Like, what are we going to be doing? We're going to be talking about. We're going to be singing its praises. That's all I'm saying is you're the one who's suggesting it, and I know for a fact it's shit, and I know for a fact you think it's shit. So, like, what are we going to do? Like, talk nice of it? I'm not gonna. I think we could shit on a movie without it like shitting on people. But I'm sorry, you're gonna watch certain actors and we're gonna have a joke. We're gonna make fun. We're like, oh, that's so funny. That's
Yeah,
so
yeah.
bad. I mean, otherwise, what's the point? I get it. Like I said, you put the carriage ahead of the horse. I think you meant it when you suggested it, but then you're like, wait a second, maybe I don't want to do that. But you're like, hey, let's do it behind a paywall. So you just don't want to do it in front of videos. I get it. I'm for it. I'm with you. We'll do it on the Patreon.
Do it on the Patreon.
Yeah.
So yeah.
My mom. Yeah. So my mom's like, Todd's too nice.
I am nice. No, I try to be a good person. Yeah. I'm not I don't want to have beef with people. I
Again,
mean, that's just not really my thing.
I don't have beef.
Oh, I
don't
know.
have beef.
You should, but yeah.
I don't have beef.
I know.
But Todd, we watch tons of movies with people we don't know or have beef with that are fucking bad and we make fun of. That doesn't mean I have beef with them. Mac and Zach have made me watch fucking Munchie 2.
Yeah.
I don't have beef with the people that made Munchie 2, but I'm going to talk about how bad it is, dude. You know what I mean? Like, I think, I don't know. Yeah,
it's more inside baseball. for Revival House, so it's not something that everybody would care about. So it's just a certain amount of people that I'd actually give a fuck about listen to the commentary about it. So
He's really trying to like play it down now because I think it would be great content. We've talked about it for the longest time, and I think that was we're like, no, I'm not gonna give it the time of day. I'm ready to watch it. I don't care. I think it's fun. I'm not gonna. I would be honest. I'm not gonna shit on anybody. I will give my honest opinion. I will even say a nice thing or two because I think there is. You can always find something nice to say about everything, a positive somewhere. So I would throw the gauntlet down right now and watch it with you guys right here, right now. I would. I know Todd doesn't want to, but
maybe you can talk me
we'll have
into
to
it
do it
for a
behind the
future
paywall.
show. Maybe a future show we can do that, but not this episode.
No, I will do the Patreon thing. I
Okay.
get it. It's fine. It doesn't because I don't want something on YouTube living out there because God knows Lush probably Googles himself. And then it comes up like, oh, somebody did a review of the movie. What?
It's like
I don't
it's
I
been
get
10
it.
years and they're
You
still
know,
talking about me.
here's what it is. Todd's a nice guy, but what he means by that is it's kind of like when everybody talks shit, everybody's critical, everybody talks behind people's backs. Everybody does it. Don't pretend you're a saint. But if somebody ever heard you saying being critical of them behind their back or making a joke, you would feel bad. And you don't necessarily want to hurt that person's feelings.
Yeah, it's like you don't make
Yeah.
fun of like an ex-girlfriend or something like that. It's like there's no point,
You don't it sounds to me like he's okay with talking about it because I am, but we don't want to hurt anybody's feelings or or take unnecessary jabs. I get it. So I think that's what he means. I'm for it, man. Let's do it on the Patreon. It's a long time coming. I would do all of them. I don't care. Like I said, I'm sure they got better too. I'm sure if they didn't get better with each one,
I'm sure they
is
did.
he even still
Yeah.
doing that stuff, or has he gone full Illuminati now? Is he like fully invested in like the tarot card reading and you know
I don't know if he's still
stone cutter
making movies
bullshit?
or I don't know if he's still making movies or not. I don't know. I'm friends with him on social media, but I really don't follow that closely. So
My mom's like, Aaron, let's watch it. We'll watch it later, mom, if you want to. So I didn't know it was on Tubi, man.
yeah, I sent you the
So now you
link.
can watch it.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, Snap, Lush gone Wiccan. I don't know. Maybe he is. Maybe that matches with all the tarot stuff. Maybe he is actually Wiccan. I don't really know. I don't know him.
I didn't
I don't
see
know
your
him
I didn't
anymore.
see your name in the credits there, Denise. So don't be disappointed.
That was yeah, I wasn't mad about that because it's like I mean I was a little bit like I wasn't surprised, and part of me was like, look, I'm kind of glad my name's not associated with this because it wasn't my thing. The thing is okay. I'm gonna put this in terms of Deftones. All roads lead to new metal. New metal solves and explains everything using apples and pears, peas and carrots. The magic of Deftones is the constant tug of war between Steph Carpenter, who's a metalhead. He loves Meshuggah, he loved thrash metal, all that stuff, and the tug of war between Chino, who was into The Cure, Joy Division, all that post new wave stuff, right? Depeche Mode. Carpenter has his way, he'd be in a Sugar band. But when they meet in the middle in that arguing in that tug of war, and they even talk about this, that's where the most magical Deftone stuff is. Like White Pony, or the Koi record. To me, that's like, oh, this is perfect blend of the two. And so I think with the Lush thing, like if we were making that movie with him and we were a part of it, he had some stuff in there being the person that was like technically we were producing it and we were coming up with the money, we were doing like the real legwork. um there was only a couple little things I had a problem with. Overall, I just wanted to
The
take out the
porno
satanic
pictures.
bullshit that made no sense to the story. The porno, the smutty jerk off cabin. It to me, if it doesn't add to a story, it's garbage anyway. That's just my thing. It's filler. It was edge lord shit, right? That was my thing. Like I didn't want that stuff in something anyway. but it was also just edgelord shit. Like, why are you putting this in here, Nate? Like, what is it doing for you? What is it doing for anybody else? Oh, they're gonna have like pentagrams on their head. What is this is edgelord shit. This is like kid stuff. So I was like, you can do this stuff in a different way and it still be scary. You shouldn't have to rely on Satan and edgy jerk off fucking cabins to get your point across. I mean, to me, that's just like a big crutch and it's weak. So my whole thing is, hey, let's do it this way. Let's make these couple of compromises. Anyway, I think the thing that we would have done would have been like, for lack of a better term, a Deftones thing where it would have been a compromise. And what Nate made was full on fucking Robert Cura the Smith. It was full unfiltered smutty Nate, and that's what he wanted to do. So it is what it is.
It looks like
But
he has
it would have been different
three
anyway.
three films on Tubi, so he has all three of his films on Tubi.
He probably has chlorophobia and the Shoemaker, right? Are those three?
Dead Bodies and 223.
Oh,
So
did he
yeah,
direct all those?
yeah, I think so. Yep.
Oh wow, okay. So I never even heard of those.
Yeah.
So he must have did a few then. Okay. Well, can you just search him by director?
Let's
Is
see.
that how Tubi works?
Yeah, search by
Oh,
director.
let's see
Yeah.
here. Silhouette. Oh, okay. Silhouette animators. Sorry, man. Thanks so much for the $2 holla. He says I'm picturing Lush looking like Bob from Twin Peaks. I have you never seen Lush? I'm sure he's well, you know what? He might not be. I might have taken down all those old videos. I was gonna say that stuff would still be if you do some digging, it's still up.
You
But
didn't see
I
the
think
dick pic?
I just made them private. Well, yeah, I took that down. But regardless, anyway, I don't want to talk about him. I don't want to talk about that. It is kind of fun to reminisce and stuff like that and wonder what could have been. It would have been fun to have seen that through and been a part of it for better or worse, even if it wasn't very good. Like I mean, like it would have been fun to have been a part of the production and the filming and all that stuff. Because ultimately our pre-production work just went in the shitter.
Mm-hmm.
Like we didn't really. It just all went to the wind. But anyway, wait. What's my mom saying? That's why I asked which one. What are you talking about? Oh, the movies. I mean, we'll watch it later, Mom. Start the car. We'll watch them later. But no. But anyway, my thing went really well, and it went way better than I could have ever hoped for. My good buddy Randall, who's been on Cinema Enema in the past, I know he's always like my mentor and telling me like what to look out for and like what to expect, and I think he can only give that advice based on his experiences. And I just got lucky because he was telling me, dude, it's gonna be. He's like, it's gonna be shit. You're gonna hate it, and as soon as you're done filming it, you're gonna be embarrassed. You're not gonna want to talk to anybody. You'll be humiliated. And after some time, it's like you're gonna think, okay, it's not that bad. But he's like talking about you're gonna have you got this script with kids and dogs. He's like, man, that's gonna cause you so much problems. The dog's gonna eat your day because it's not gonna do what you want it to do, and it's gonna, you're gonna burn so much time trying to get that thing. The kids' parents are gonna give you a hard ass time. And it's gonna be difficult. All this stuff, man, none of it happened. The dog we worked with was perfect. It was like Benji. It was such a good dog, and it just did everything on cue. And their trainer was perfect. Um, we had one kid no show. That was kind of a headache, but I learned to roll with these things because stuff goes on all the time during a filming. It's like there's always problems, and you just have to like solve them. And so like we had one kid we needed just no show on us, and on the fly, I just rewrote the scene, and it turned out better actually. So I was kind of glad they didn't show up at the end of it. But we had another kid that was awesome, no problems at all. Total professional. Kid can cry on cue, man. It was great.
It's awesome.
So we just had a blast, and it was a really fun set, and the morale was really high because it's like if you're doing 16-hour days, you kind of run the risk of everybody hitting a wall and getting frustrated and getting cranky and just getting on each other's nerves and going for the throats. But everybody was having such a good time. The attitude on set was very fun. People were complimenting me, which is nice because I guess I was. I guess it makes sense. It's like if your director is in a shit mood, or if your director is a hard ass and being an asshole, it kind of sets the tone for the whole set. But if you're being like, because if you're the captain of the ship, if you're being cool and you're cool, calm, and collected, and you're being attentive, and I think it just all follows suit. But everybody was so funny and having a great time, and more than anything, everybody liked what they were doing, and it was really a trip to see something that I wrote, that I thought, that I wrote, and I even drew on boards come to life. Because once again, like my buddy Randall, he would say like it's not gonna turn out the way you want. You just have to fucking roll with it. You're gonna have to fix it in editing. You're gonna have to take something shit and polish it to make it okay in editing. Fix it in the editing room. And like once again, I'm like, we got everything. Like everything, we got everything in the script, and it's, I'd say 98% of what was even drawn on the boards was exactly the way it was. There was only a couple of instances where we had to like improvise because I drew the boards and wrote the script and all that stuff before we had a house. So like we had some stuff that we didn't have. We just had to like shoot it a different way. And those couple of instances worked out even better. So I don't know. I'm looking forward to everybody seeing it. The only downside is I went about 2 grand over budget that I had just for the production. So that fucking sucks. So I don't really have the money for the post, so I got to work on that. I may or may not try and get together a trailer so I can maybe do some sort of a Kickstarter and actually show a product like, hey, here's what we got. Maybe I can raise a little bit of money to help because it has just absolutely destroyed me in that sense. But at least I got it done. The hard part, anyway. But it was funny. I kind of like I don't know. There was a part of me back in the day. I would be like, oh, it'd been so much fun to do something like this with Todd. I was thinking about you the whole time in spirit. Like, if only Todd was here to see this. Todd could at least give me input, and he could be like, "Oh, what did you think of that, Todd?"
I'm
Because
looking
at the end
for
of the day, I just want to impress Todd.
I'm really looking forward to it, man. I'm super stoked that you got it done, you got it wrapped with the filming. I didn't know it was going to be coming up that quick. When you said you're doing pre-production stuff, I was like, okay, so he's probably not going to be shooting for a few weeks or a few months. And then you said you're done or you're done. I was like, hell yeah, man, that's awesome. So yeah, that's congrats on that.
But like I said, it makes you feel real proud to like say like December, like, "Hey, I'm gonna just do this. I'm gonna make
Yeah.
myself uncomfortable," because I never thought I was gonna be a director before December. I never wanted to be a director. I just want to write, and it gets really hard to get your shit off the ground and get your stuff to a finish line when you're relying on all these other people. So I just dove in to the cold deep end and said, "I'll just do it myself," not knowing a fucking thing about directing. Um, and so 8 months later, it's actually done. I saw it through. It's a little emotional, I must say. Like, oh, I did it. Damn. And to watch what I wrote and what I did in December come to life in front of me on set, it was nuts, man, because we had great actors. Great actors. This was no, I mean, I almost doxed the name because I forgot we're live. But let's just say the people that we know of, like, let's just say Nick Papa Giorgio,
Hmm.
right? And some of these people, or like let's say Johnny Cash, wink wink, right? It's not that. I really do feel like I skipped the line a little bit because I was working with people like that I had no right working with. Because I got real lucky in the people I got hooked up with. Um, Half of my production came out of Mexico City, so they were really eager to work in America, but they were pros. They've worked on big Netflix series over there, telenovelas, all that stuff. Like real, they're pros. And so I got all these people that really knew what they were doing. I got really good actors. I'm proud of that. I actually cast it. These were my actors, and they nailed it. So it was actually a little bit screwed up to watch it like after a few days of nonstop of watching what these actors were doing to each other. uh it kind of affected me when I got home. I'm like, man, I think that was mentally draining to watch some fucked up shit for that, because they were so realistic. so realistic, and it was like being a fly on the wall of like domestic disturbances and all kinds of stuff. Um, but yeah, I'm really stoked, and like I said, I'm just happy. For me, step one, I just take things one step at a time, and it's like if I can just get it done and see it to the end, for better or worse, even if it turned into a nightmare and it was nothing like I wanted it to be, that's a win. I just wanted to finish it. Anything after that's gravy. And the fucking went super well. So it's like, oh, that's really awesome. And I even had like, my producer tell me like, hey, he's like, he people really thought we had something here. Like, so maybe, like I said, uh, I think it's only going to get better. So the edit's going to be awesome. I got a lot of great ideas for the edit, and you know, hopefully next year it'll get some festival attention. And I don't think it's wise. I have a lot to learn about that stuff too. I'm gonna have to consult with Rand. I actually don't think it might not be wise to shotgun blast your film everywhere. Like I think you need to be strategic about the
Yeah,
festivals you
yeah,
submit
you
it to.
might have to, yeah, get some advice from Randall or something on that. I have no clue, but
Because like you don't, not that like hey, later silhouette, he's gotta get to go to bed.
see you,
Thanks for
Silhouette.
joining us, man.
Have a
He
good night.
I think maybe you don't want to, if you have something that's straight up horror and it's a certain type of film, I mean, yeah, you're gonna submit it to like the horror festivals, and maybe you want it to be seen, and you want it to go to like all the Casey Crypticons and all that stuff. Maybe that's good for you. This though, this is definitely horror adjacent. It's not like this is like done with quality. This is high quality equipment, high quality talent, high quality crew. This is more psychological, more drama, but horror adjacent. I Not that I'm too good for that stuff. I love shitty horror, but I would want to go for different festivals at least at,
I
at
I saw
first,
one of the sets. The set
because
looked
that stuff.
awesome, dude.
Did I send you the pictures of like the what? Did you see the pictures of the screenshots I have?
Yeah, I think maybe my wife saw your girl's
My wife.
pictures. Yeah.
Oh well, let me send you. I have a couple of stills
Okay.
from the raw footage. I'll send them to you right now, and you can kind of react to them. Maybe don't show them, but react to them.
Yeah.
And there's a video too that has obviously none of the sound mixed in, and there's no edit to it. It's just like raw. But let me send it to you right now and tell me what you think. But no, we're super proud. And like I said, once it goes through the coloring process and everything else, and the thing that's going to pull any flick like that together is the sound and the music, man. So, I've still got a ways to go, but I think I've got the hardest part done, man. Because when it
Yeah.
comes to working with people with sound or edit and all that stuff, dude, I can work with people one on one at a time. The big headache was for the last 8 months assembling a crew and keeping everybody on the same page, losing people, having to replace them, setback. It was like balancing a million plates on your head. It
Hmm.
was fucking difficult, and it was very stress inducing. So I feel like now it's like I just have to like worry about talking with one guy and then one guy. Dude, that's fucking no problem. But hey, really quick, silhouette, $5. Thank you so much. Real quick, he says, "Want soul draining of the highest caliber? Read the hentai manga called Metamorphosis. Peace, dudes. Gotta sleep." I might pass.
What's that about? You
Um,
think is that pretty ruthless or what?
I manga, a lot of manga is like screwed up, man. But
Okay.
let me yeah, I'm gonna send this to you really quick, and I want you to tell me what you think. Give me 2 seconds. So first, I'll send you a couple of like candid iPhone shots. These are like my iPhone shots. I didn't even take any pictures, man. I was so in it. On the last day, last night, I took a couple of pictures, but I'll take a couple. One of these you might have saw because Eva posted it. But here is these. Again, these are iPhone shots. And the next thing I'm going to show you after you look at those is the actual raw footage, like stills, right?
Yeah, that's awesome
Oh,
set. Yeah.
silhouette. That sounds amazing. It's about constant grape and a chick losing her hopes and dreams in the end. Okay. All right. So that's just my iPhone pics. But let me show you the actual pulls, some stills from the raw footage, and then I'll show you a video as
That
well.
house looks awesome, dude.
Um, It's perfect. It is so
Yeah.
perfect. Absolutely perfect. And the guy even let us dig up his backyard.
Oh,
You know, I
nice.
had to pay the guy. He was kind of a little he kind of fucked with my emotions a little bit, like wanting more money and stuff after we made agreements and stuff like that. Like, because when you're making an independent film, they all have the high ground. Like, if you work out a deal, everything's in writing. Okay, I'm going to pay you this much for this much time, and then he's got a girlfriend in his ear complaining, and then any excuse he'll try to ask for more money, and I'm like, dude, we already made a deal, but once again, you know nobody's going to take you to small claims over like a certain amount of money. So they've always got the ball in their court. So you have to fucking just bend over because you got to film the next day and you can't afford to have them pull the rug because you lose everything. And you're
Yeah.
already so deeply invested money wise, crew wise. You just have to fucking grit your teeth and be like, okay, I'll give you a little more money, you know?
Yeah.
So you definitely have people taking advantage of you a little bit. But
Just gotta
anyway, so
grease his
check out
palms.
these. By the way, really quick, has my is my stuff still out of sync, Todd? And have I muted any more on this episode?
You have muted, but you're a little out of sync.
Have I lost? Really? Okay, I'll have to figure that out. All right, so check these stills out. And like I said, all unedited, and the videos unedited with no music.
Oh yeah,
All
dude.
right, good night, Silhouette. Thanks, man, for all this support.
Oh, that's sweet, dude.
You see that picture where he's like screaming, dude, like in a
Yeah.
red shirt? Dude, dude, that was that's a murder scene. Not to give away story stuff,
Is
but that's
that
a murder scene. And
who did your
we had
special effects? You got a was it a somebody you knew or somebody your buddy knew?
somebody my DP knew. Somebody my DP knew. Because that I got real lucky because like half the production was my producer Oscar. Half the production stemmed from like my DP, and like they all had so many contacts. So Oscar's half of the production all came from Mexico City. So it's like half of them were his, and they were insane workhorses, man. And then half of them were just like Tyler has so many connections because he's a professional. That's what he does for a living. Is he DP's worked with everybody. So he had everybody on speed dial. So I couldn't have done it without them. So
This is gonna be really good,
it
dude.
really worked out.
Yeah. I'm watching the
Yeah.
video. Yeah, the
But anyway,
video
so I got
quality
to
is
see,
awesome.
and that's not edited or anything yet. There's no coloring. There's no nothing. Yeah, we had a lightning machine. We had rain machines. We had everything, dude.
That's sweet. Yeah,
um, and
I'm really looking forward to
our
this.
actors really got in a whole. Look, if you look at the raw iPhone footage of that body bag, dude,
Yeah, that's cool.
it looks so creepy in the real footage, man. She let us bury her, dude, and like there were some creepy shots, man, uh, of her eyes and shit. And but anyway, it's really cool. But anyway, I was gonna say that one picture you see of the dude screaming, it's like a murder.
Yeah.
If you zoom in, you see blood all over him.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, we need him to hit something, and we're not going to show what he's hitting. It's all going to like, I just want to see it all in his action and him going ham. So we need to see like blood, like we need to see his knuckles get bloody or whatever. And I didn't know how it was going to look. I was like, well, we can't have him hit the ground. What can we hit? We had a prosthetic silicone pregnant belly. So it's like, let's have him beat the belly. Like
Yeah.
that'll work. You know, it's soft. And so we had my head of art department as he was punching, squirting more blood between his punches off camera. So it's like blood, and I didn't see that. I didn't know what he was doing. Like I didn't know that
Yeah.
they decided, hey, that he was going to do that because if there's no room, you usually watch from a monitor when you're directing.
Mhm.
So I'm watching what Tyler's seeing out of the camera. So I'm over here watching. I'm like, I don't know how this is really going to translate. How much blood we're really going to see. I guess we'll find out. And I'm watching it. All of a sudden, I yell action or whatever, and I'm seeing blood fly up. Blood is hitting the fucking walls, dude, and blood's hitting his face. He's got blood in his teeth and his hands, and it's like Patrick Bateman, dude. He's got blood in his teeth, like ah.
That's
And I'm like,
cool.
holy shit, that really went a long way. And then I found out, yeah, he was like underneath, like squirting more blood on the belly, dude, as he was punching. It was like, but I everything went so well, man. There was nothing that went really bad. There's some stuff I can't wait to see the. I have all the hard drives. I gotta after I take a mental break, I gotta go through all the hard drives and um compress some stuff for the edit, and then I'm gonna go through and just sort of make it easy on whoever edits it, and just pick out all the good takes, right? And just kind of like, okay, not that take, not that take. But yeah, it's gonna be weird to kind of go look at that. There's some creepy stuff, dude. Do you remember the script
Yeah,
at
Miller.
all, or did you even
Yeah.
read it? Okay, no, that's not Miller, dude. Do you see any incest in this? No, I'm just kidding. That's not Miller, dude. Miller's like the dark comedy, man.
Oh, this wasn't the dark
Never
comedy.
mind. Okay, you thought this is the dark comedy? Jeez, that's like, no, gosh. That's really dark comedy. But no, anyway, let's just say there's some stuff in a bathroom that's
Mm.
I'm really looking forward to seeing come to edit, man, because we had some creepy prosthetics, dude, and creepy stuff involving babies, dude.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think I remember
Very,
this.
very
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. It's like I said, it turned out it'll just, I don't know. It came out so good in the raw footage. There's just no way we can fuck it up in post. There's just no way it's not going to look 3 times better.
It looks
Once
cool,
you like
man.
get the
I'm really
coloring and
excited
edit
to
it.
check this out.
Yeah. All right. Well, anywho, let's kind of wrap it up. I apologize. I don't even know if it's my turn. It's been a couple of weeks. I didn't have any segments today, but I'll get back into that normal next time if that's
Yeah.
cool. I just wanted to like touch base and talk. And does anybody have any like last questions before we kind of put a fork in it? Do you want to talk about anything, Todd, before we wrap up?
No, I can kind of talk about God. I rewatched a movie that I was a fan of, but after watching it the second time, I loved it even more. And that's The Witch. Um, have you seen that in a while?
Oh, the Vavitch.
Yeah.
I watched the Vavitch Eggers. I watched that when it came out, and I watched it back to back 2 times.
Oh, you
But I
did?
haven't seen it since. And what did that come out like? That came out like 2014, something like that.
Yeah, and I
'Cause I
remember
think it was
watching
one of
it,
the last things I watched before I moved.
and I was a fan of it, but
It was one of
I
the last movies
go ahead.
you know, it was one of the last movies I watched before I moved to Arizona. That's why I remember it was 2014 in my apartment, and I got it out of a Red Box, I think, and I watched it, and I was very intrigued by it. I didn't know if I liked it or hated it. I really didn't know. I was like, I don't really know what to make. All I knew is their accents were so, and the dialogue, like they didn't
You have to have the subtitles
like they
on.
didn't do
Yeah.
any. It didn't sound like they did. They didn't. It doesn't sound like he did any ADR.
Hmm.
Right? Like it's just he recorded stuff on set, and he because that's what Nolan does. People complain like you can't hear what people are saying in Nolan movies because he doesn't do any ADR stuff.
Yep.
He's like what he gets is what he gets. And so yeah, I watched it. At the end was so creepy and so well done. I'm like, I have to watch this again. I literally am like, I gotta watch this again. And I admit, by the time the ending rolled around, I felt like I felt like I missed a couple of things, and it's all down to not hearing. So I'm like, it just made me want to watch it again, like really pay attention, like what the now that I knew the ending, and I'm like, I gotta pick up on what I didn't catch the first time. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It was kind of a weird watch. But I watched it twice, so
That
whether or
main
not I
girl's
loved it or
awesome.
disliked it doesn't
She's
matter.
really good. I forgot how good she was.
Anna Taylor Joy,
Yeah.
Anna Taylor Joy,
Yeah.
because that's where she came from, right?
Hmm.
She was great in that Edgar Wright movie, the Last Night in Soho. Did you like that?
I never saw that.
It's really good. I really liked it, man. I think Edgar Wright's on fire, dude. I like all his stuff, man. But and I'm looking forward to him work with Simon Pegg again. I think they want to do something else again finally. But no, Last Night in Soho was a lot of fun. It's shot really beautifully. It's a cool story. All takes place in London, and it's kind of a horror movie. It's his first
Mm.
horror movie, and yeah, it is a horror movie, I would say, but it's good. You should watch that. I really liked it. I thought it was at least an 8 out of 10.
All right. Yeah, we'll watch that if she's in it. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. But yeah,
Sean Boyle says he just went as Black Phillip from The Witch to a big costume party in L.A.
nice.
Yeah. Hey, Thomas Rowan. Sorry, I don't think I said hi to you either.
What's up,
But
Thomas?
yeah, so I want to rewatch it. I'll have to rewatch it sometime. you know. But I think regardless of how I feel about the movie as a whole, the ending is so good, man.
Oh
It
yeah,
nails the ending so well. It's so creepy. And
yeah, it's very creepy, and I don't know. I love the characters in it, man. It's just. Did you watch The Lighthouse?
I feel and I no, I still haven't seen the
That
lighthouse.
that movie's awesome too. So watch The Lighthouse. Watch Northman. I
I
mean,
gotta
Northman's
watch
great
it.
too.
I feel like The Witch is one of the movies that sort of started the horror trend for the next decade. It's like, with the A24 stuff and the vibe and the very artsy fartsy art school type of movie. It kind of started with The Witch, and then I mean, I feel like we're gonna get out of that. Like, it's just natural. We're gonna have like we have these eras and these phases, and I feel like we have had a decade of what do they call it? The elevated horror.
Mm,
Eventually it's got to like go into something else. I think it'd be fun to kind of go back to an 80s fun horror. Like,
hmm.
when are we gonna get fun horror back? Like,
Absolutely.
goofy. We'll see. But I don't hate it. I think this last decade is a lot better than what we had in. You were covering millennial horror.
Hmm.
I thought there's some good stuff.
There was.
I love movies. I love like The Faculty. I love The Faculty. And I like, but I think overall it was kind of a dark period. Overall, it didn't have shit on the 70s. It didn't have shit on the 80s.
No, it really didn't.
Um, and then like the aughts, 2000 to 2010, it was kind of all about like we were in remake. It was all about like Hell's Have Eyes remake, House of Wax remake. That was a different vibe too. And I would say the last 10 years was better than that too.
I
So,
agree. I
I'd say
agree.
we've been eating pretty good. We've been eating good for the last decade. So, but let's go ahead and wrap up if you don't mind.
Yep.
I gotta get to making dinner. But thanks so much everybody for joining us, and we'll see you next week, Wednesday now at 8 p.m. Central Time. And we'll be back with segments. Adios. Bye bye.